accused of preparing to use chemical weapons.
Our COVID deaths are on the rise. Another 7 today as Omicron hits hard.
And an emotional farewell to an All Black great and an even greater member of his community. Cities in the centre and the west of the country for the first time. It could indicate a new direction of where this war is heading. Lutsk, Ivano-Frankivsk and Dnipro were all targeted with apartment blocks, factories and even kindergartens destroyed. It's left many more civilians killed and wounded. But despite the war's escalation, it is not going well for Vladimir Putin. His forces have yet to take the prize capital, Kiev, and another of his generals was killed overnight, the third high-ranking Russian commander to have lost his life in the 2-week-old campaign. Russia today even claims the US and Ukraine are developing illegal chemical weapons for use against its forces. Lisette Raymer is on the border in Poland, and a warning her report contains some confronting images of war.
Every day, every hour, the surviving safe places of Ukraine are being shattered by shrapnel.
Old footage.
The war has hit the west. This in the historical city of Lutsk, just an hour from Poland. And here in Ivano-Frankivsk, airstrikes edge ever closer to the border of the European Union. In Dnipro, the country's fourth biggest city, this shoe factory was reduced to rubble by a missile strike.
What are they going to wear now?
The front line of terror expanded overnight. This couple has now joined the 2.5 million Ukrainians who fled their homes for safety. Their return date unknown.
I think you tell the world about another act of state terrorism. It's not just a war. It's state-sponsored terrorism by a powerful country against us.
Like so many around the country.
It's an American cruise. Just understand, and don't kid yourself, no matter what you all say. That's called World War III.
So the Ukrainians continue their solo fight back as the Russians continue their brutal advance towards the capital of Kiev. Any villages they come across on their journey are left destroyed and disregarded, collateral damage in the battle for the crown jewel of the country. Ukrainian soldiers are defending Kiev against all odds as the fighting grows fiercer and draws ever closer. Here they engage in a gun battle to hold off advancing Russian forces, the firepower so constant, so unrelenting, as is their resolve to safeguard their countries.
Record 7 deaths yesterday. Case numbers were down today to just under 19,000, which is also 1,000 cases under the 7-day rolling average of 20,000. Hospital numbers remain high. 853 patients have been admitted with COVID and 17 people are fighting for their lives in intensive care or high dependency units. A2 variant daily cases have been steadily rising, hitting 14,000 yesterday. Health authorities expect that number to double in the next few weeks. So far the variant, which is already circulating in New Zealand, doesn't seem to be any more severe or evasive than the original version of Omicron.
It's Aussie.
Omicron have taken their toll. Key ingredients for a good wine harvest, but some wine growers are still patiently waiting for both.
Omicron has added another layer of anxiety to this year's vintage as wine growers get by without international experts and try to retain enough staff to get through. Keisha Brownlee reports.
The most crucial time of the wine growing year, coinciding with the country's peak of COVID-19 and isolation.
We're going to finish our harvest here tomorrow, so it looks like we've dodged the bullet and we're going to make it.
Despite a few staff needing to isolate, Kumeu River Winery managed to find just enough hands.
Tired but happy.
But as the wave of infections is expected to move south, wine growers in North Canterbury are holding their breath. Rain and humidity has already left its mark.
The powdery mildew comes in and you can get the splitting here.
And pushed out Black Estate's harvest just in time for the peak of Omicron to arrive.
Yield will be slightly lower, but we won't know until we see how the next few weeks play out. So fingers crossed that we can get to the last few weeks before harvest and bring in some really beautiful fruit.
Bubbles and social distancing only go so far. We're protecting our fifth biggest goods export.
We've got people having to isolate if they show positive, so that means a reduction in team members.
From teams that are already missing important international workers.
The biggest issue we've had is getting people to harvest.
Normally, experienced vintage workers from the Northern Hemisphere come to New Zealand to help with critical tasks.
It means we've got a less experienced workforce
To pick
that
grapes.
effectively has got the threat of COVID, Omicron hanging over the top. So there's a lot of nervous winemakers out there.
Hopefully there's a lot of nice fruit in there.
That'll be
Alright,
something
I
to
opened the
calm
board
the
up for you.
nerves. Kasia Brownlee, News Hub.